Hey, what's going on? This is Marcos. Today I want to talk about some of the common mistakes I've done when filming interviews. These are things I've learned over the years that I've tried to correct and that I'm always aware of whenever I'm out filming interviews on set, or let's say we go to a location, a studio. I'm always thinking about these things, and I've made some of these mistakes, so I want to share them with you in case you yourself are a one-person video team or you're working with a small crew. I think this will apply. So let's get into it. So the number one on the list is crossing the line. What I mean by this is when you have two cameras and you have a subject looking slightly off camera. Let's say the camera number one is here, and then I would have the second camera on this side of the eye line. So when I cut, the eye line looks different. It is very jarring. So typically what you want to do is keep both cameras on the same line. If you draw a straight line, let's say I was looking this way, I'm the interviewee. I'm looking this way, the camera should be on this side over here. So if I cut, it will be to the second camera. You don't want to have it on this side over here. That's something I've done, and typically just you can still use it, just doesn't look right. So number two is not scouting the location beforehand, and this is not necessarily a mistake, but if you can, if the time allows for it and you're within distance, always scout the location, even if you're not getting paid for it. And you do this so you can anticipate any issues, especially sounds. One of the most important things. Is there someone on the second floor making a lot of noise? Is there a lot of traffic? Do you need to bring sound blanket? There's a lot of things you can do better after you scout a location. Maybe you need plants. And so you can communicate with your clients about what needs to change in order to make the shoot look or come out better, sound and look better, right? Again, this is not always possible, but whenever you can, try to scout a location, and I know that you're gonna solve way more things ahead of time before they ever happen. So definitely recommend scouting the location beforehand. Number three is not blocking out the room entirely. And I've been in situations where there's huge windows and I can't necessarily block them because we're on a time crunch and we just need to set up, and then the sun is like moving and you have clouds that are cleared out, and the lighting changes in the middle of the interview, and it's just like you're looking at the screen and it's just now looks terrible. These things happen when you're in run and gun shoots. If you can, try to block out as many windows, control the lighting. If you see that the sun's gonna peek through a window, maybe block out the window so it doesn't affect your whole lighting scenario. So as much as you can, try to block out the lighting, especially if you have time or the crew to make it happen. Number four, taking on too many roles. This happens when you're a one-person video team. You're often running maybe multiple cameras. You're doing the lighting, you're doing the sound, you're doing the setting up the room, making it look pretty. You're wearing all these hats, and when you're doing that, you're more likely to make mistakes. You can't do everything well when you're having to manage all these different roles. So the times I've done mistakes where I forget to look at something that's peeking in the frame or something that doesn't look right is because I was focusing on too many things. Maybe I was just worried about the audio and I forgot to check the second camera angle, or maybe, so this is the reason I started moving away from the one-person video team. I just want to work with more people because the end result always comes out better when I'm not having to do everything myself. Number five is shooting too shallow. This is a problem when you're shooting manual, and let's say you're at a T2 or 1.8 and your interviewee shifts back and forth. It might seem on your screen like you're in focus, but you're slightly out of focus. And when you're looking at the footage in your big screen or in your home, you realize it's not tack sharp, right? So, to solve that issue, what I do now, I try to go to T2.8. That way there's more wiggle room in the focus. If you're at 1.8 or 2, any slight move and you might not notice that you're just slightly out of focus, and that always bothers me when that's happened to me. If you have amazing autofocus, then you probably can run 1.8, no problem. The subject can move as much as it can and the camera will track it. But If you're like me, you're running manual focus, maybe try to stick to a 2.8 if they're moving quite a bit. Number 6 on the list is cell phones not being turned off. Often happens on set where you're in the middle of an interview and the phone goes off, or a sound and something, and that interrupts the whole flow and the energy in the room. Sometimes like, okay, who has their phone, turn it off. And so there's this back and forth and it's just very disruptive. Also, if you have someone on the crew just being on their phone and the interviewee, the subject can see if they're on the phone, they might see that as, it might make them self-conscious. So I always tell my crew, don't be on your phone. Myself, I'm never on my phone because it just communicates the wrong things to the client. And I feel like it's a mistake if you're a crew member, especially if you're running camera and you're on your phone the whole time. You should be looking at the image. You should, paying attention to everything, making sure no light turns off. You have to be very alert to any changes that may happen, right? Because light might turn off in the background and you didn't even notice because you're on your phone. So no cell phones while you're running interviews. Number 7 is having the lab on the opposite side of where they will be talking. So this happens when I've done 2-person interviews or just having a conversation and I place the lab on this side and I didn't realize that they were gonna talk this way. So the whole time they're talking this way, but the lab is over here. What I should have done is have the Lav Mic placed on this side because they're facing this way. A mistake, and this happens primarily because I'm taking on too many roles. Back to that, sometimes you just like throw on a mic and like, let's go, because I have to still set up the cameras and the audio and the lights and all that. So again, this is kind of connected to that. Try to have more crew, more people to help you, maybe a dedicated sound person so you don't have to worry about that. And that way you can focus entirely on the camera and making the image look as beautiful as possible. So yeah, something to look out for. Number 8 on the list is not letting people know in the room or in the building that you're conducting an interview. I do a lot of on-location interviews and someone forgets to tell someone in the next room, employees, that they should be quiet, that their conversation over there in the next room, we can hear it over here. The mic's picking it up. And so that's another interruption that we have to account for. Like, okay, stop, let's go fix that. Someone has to tell them to be quiet. So you just gotta let people know what you're doing, and especially when you're going on location, just try to minimize the amount of interruptions, and people is one of those big things that you encounter. Number 9 is not accounting for glasses. I have often set up an interview and then the person shows up with glasses and you can see the light right there on their glasses, and it's very distracting. And now I have to redo my lighting and move stuff around, and I thought I was ready, but now I'm telling the director or whoever, give me another 10 minutes, I need to change my lighting and my whole thing. And so don't let that be a thing. Be aware of it and try to account for it and try to minimize having to do a relight. So maybe have an extra pair of glasses laying around and just put them on, or if you have an assistant, you can have them put on glasses to see how the light is affecting the glasses. So one of those things that definitely has robbed me of my setup time. Number 10 is not communicating with the client how long it will take you to set up. I've often had the client expect me to set up in 30 minutes because I didn't tell them, hey, it's gonna take me 2 hours, and they have the subject arriving just around the same time I arrived, and I'm like, okay, they're watching me the whole time, and it just builds up this nervous energy because they're wondering when I'm gonna set up and how come I'm taking so long. And when things are rushed, they just come out looking worse. So let them know, hey, it's gonna take me approximately 2 hours, whether I'm working by myself or with the crew. Usually that's the setup time, I would say, for quick interviews. I've done interviews where it takes 4 hours, so it all depends on what you're doing. But yeah, you definitely want to let them know, and that way they can schedule things accordingly. All right, so that's 10 common mistakes I can think of right now on top of my head, but I know there's probably more. If you want to share what you learned over the years, please share down below. I want to hear from you. I know there's plenty more out there that I have forgot to mention. Also, if you want to, get more industry insights, videos like these, please let me know down in the comment section. I'll be happy to make them. As always, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.